Okay, so Captain Marvel opened up about a month and a half ago, and the movie in some elements is just the gift that keeps on giving. Especially if you just kind of want to watch the internet burn. That's really, I think, one of the best ways to look at the property. The movie ultimately okay. Wasn't anything spectacular to write home about, but people keep talking about it because, well, it's popular and it brings in a lot of clicks any way you look at it, right? And so yesterday there was a big how to do about Brie Larson's stunt double and comments she had made on an Endgame press tour, and a lot of people blew it out of proportion without even taking a second to fundamentally understand exactly what was being said. But that's okay because this is YouTube and that's what you get. But then there was another set of headlines I saw last night that basically started off with this one: Captain Marvel fan breaks records after watching the film 116 times. guy, Captain Marvel fan breaks records after seeing the film 116 times. And at first I thought to myself, okay, so it's someone who is doing it maybe because they want to try to get to the Endgame premiere, or they want to maybe get a set visit, as has kind of happened with this guy here, this Avenger super fan who saw the film 143 times, or sorry, 43 times. This guy here named Tony Mitchell. Or over in the UK, there's this kid here named Kieran who saw the movie 100 times and has the ticket stubs to back it up. And again, a lot of people out there were thinking, at least, that maybe if they go see the movie a lot, that this would be something that they would get, that they would be able to be that super fan that would ultimately be able to, well, maybe get a set invite or get to the premiere of one of these movies. And I don't blame him. It's a solid game plan. It's like the guy who ended up purchasing the URL for Avengers Endgame and traded it to Disney for tickets to the world premiere. These things happen. People find a way. Life finds a way. But in this particular case, it's not at all what it may seem. And while the articles are making it out to be a super fan saw this movie, it's not that at all. In fact, it says here, a Captain Marvel fan, which is, again, I want to air quote that thing, has broken records for the most times watching a single movie in the cinema. Steve Ruppel watched the Brie Larson film a total of 116 times to earn the feat, which saw him shut away in a multiplex for more than 14,000 minutes. According to Ruppel, he needed to watch the movie at least 104 times since it was released on March 7th in order to break the previous record, but decided to make it 116 times so he could make it into the Guinness Book of World Records. Saying here, if anyone wants to break this, I really don't want to re-break it because this has been pretty rough. I don't think I'm going to try this again. So the guy isn't a fan. Perhaps, I'm sure he's a fan enough, right? But this guy's not a super fan. This guy is not, out there trying to get himself invited to any, future MCU events, or to be promoted and lauded around by a PR company like some other people might have tried or something like that. This guy ultimately is a record breaker, and he wanted to take this particular prize. In fact, the article goes on to say here that Ruppel is a serial record breaker. He once set the record for running half a marathon while wearing the most t-shirts, and also became the quickest person to drink a full liter of gravy in 12 seconds. So yeah, this guy is not a super fan. I don't even know if he's a fan. He wanted to beat a record, and this is the movie he chose to do it. But the marketing machine is going to come out and say, ha ha ha, this guy is a super fan. He saw this movie 116 times. It's since March 7th when it came out because he wanted to be the one to take home the prize. That's a lot of time to see this movie. That's a lot of time to see this movie. And in fact, it goes on to say here, to break the Captain Marvel record, he was forced to take time off of work. Ruppel said the film became so boring that he focused on the finer details that made him more impressed with the film's producers, saying there's one particular scene in the movie where in the background there's a calendar and it says June of 1995. And then later on that particular day, there's a full moon. So at the end, I just Googled if there was a full moon in June of 1995, and it came out to be Tuesday, June 13th of 1995. So the guy found the movie boring after, his 100th, 16th viewing of it, and he doesn't want to watch the movie again. You could tell him, you could almost like hear just that sigh in his voice, like, please, look, if anyone wants to break this, fine. I don't want to re-break it. I don't want to sit through this again. I don't want to do this again, because the movie, that must have been a chore to get through Captain Marvel 116 times. I saw it once was enough. I've sat through movies multiple times. My record at this point is Pirates of the Caribbean roughly 65 times. And the reason why that happened was I was working at a drive-in theater in San Diego. We had the movie playing in a double feature with Finding Nemo for 11 weeks. So Pirates played twice nightly for 11 damn weeks. So I watched the movie quite a bit. I watched it so damn often, and I can still go back all these years later and still watch it because I still love the movie, but I couldn't do a movie that I don't like 116 times. I mean, if he wants to sit there and go like, I'm really impressed with the film's producers for this calendar thing, that's more of the set designer than it is probably the film producer. But hey, I mean, that's a good detail to catch. That's a very good detail to catch. And this is a guy that I think would be funny to interview about the finer elements of Brie Larson's acting and the pacing of the movie, and the person who could probably sit there and tell you every little line of detail, line of dialogue that's in the film because he knows it. Again, the headlines on this are going to come out and say, Captain Marvel superfan breaks record, seen the movie 116 times. But the reality of it is it was just a record breaker who has seen the movie now so many times he finds it boring. I'm pretty sure he found it boring during the process, early on of the process, so much so that he just started focusing on what else was in the scene other than the main talent, which is telling you something there. But anyway, I am curious to know your thoughts, your opinions on this one. The comments will be kind of fun. Again, the story in and of itself is why it's interesting. It's not that it's Captain Marvel, essentially. It's more like the media headlines and how they're presenting it, and the record breaker who's like, this movie is so damn boring, but I sat through it because I really wanted to break that record. And it shows you the dedication some people have to really just getting their name in a Guinness book against something so utterly useless that it makes the rest of us go, okay. You do you, boo. You do you. But anyway, leave your comments. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.